Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We had an Inside Star Citizen that was a glorified sprint report, which is awesome because these give a huge amount of juicy, tangible development information about what Cloud Imperium are working on currently. So they did talk about it being the 150th episode of Inside Star Citizen, although technically it's the 450th news episode if you factor in things like Wingman's Hangar. And Jared Disco Lando has now been at CIG for 8+ years. So, sprints. Each sprint of work, in Cloud Imperium's terms, is 2 weeks of work. Then they sort of check back, have a bit of a review of the work they've done, and then do another 2 weeks of work on that particular feature, or they move on to a new task. So that's how sprints are organised in the company. And we got to see some of the more recent ones. So they had a new hire, and they used him to update some of the remote turrets on the 600i. We have the Argo SRV. That's going through its final art for a scheduled release later this year. And that makes sense because Cloud Imperium very much working on tractor beams, sort of updating them, and ship scale tractor beams and SRV, that's going to be using them. We had a first look at the RSI Lynx. It's in grey box. It's planned for 3.19. It's got 6 massive tyres. It's a luxury version of the Urza with a nice exterior, comfy chairs, looks higher tech, looks a lot more sleek. The Crusader Spirit has just entered grey box as well. So we saw some of the exterior and interior. It has an area for EVA or armoured suits. We even saw the A1's bomb bay. But there's even more ships they showed. So we had the Santok Yai. So this is in grey box. Exterior, thrusters and landing gear were all shown. It looks like there's going to be a lot of ships turning up later this year. So moving beyond starships and spaceships now, AI have been working on testing boids. So no animations yet, just algorithmic behaviours. So these are small creatures like birds that will populate the skies and planets, but also they showed fishies. So we're going to see a lot of little creatures sort of flying around, swimming around and on the ground. The props team have been physicalising a load of items like weights for gyms, lots of little interactables basically. They've got the coffee machines working, and have a variety of new cups and containers to use with them. They've been working on customization for HABs and ship interiors. One of the things that we're going to be able to use is sort of these electronic posters that can be hung up. These could be used for a huge range of things. Props. They've been working with the features team on grasping Weevil's eggs, a new contraband that will be making its way into Stanton and will be associated with sort of high value and missions and things like that. There are some awesome looking atmosphere and lighting updates for Hurston. So they're having the smog closer to the surface of Hurston now. So for 3.19 and Lorville 2.0, this is going to look awesome. I really like the evolution there. Expect better looking lighting and all that sort of jazz too. There are forest updates on Microtech. So we're seeing denser, lusher, better performing forests that are going to give better cover for sort of missions and FPS combat. And you'll be able to use these for like racing and things like that. So the points of interest that use forests will be much more interesting. There are new resort hotels around Hurston on platforms that they've been building. So these points of interest are going to be used for mission locations and places to explore. Some are going to be overrun by the Ninetails, others are going to be places where you pick up and drop off packages and things. On Hurston, they are working on law enforcement officers as well. So these are in the white box phase at the moment, but they're going to be used for Bounty Hunting 2.0 that Cloud Imperium will be talking about more later in the year. So you sort of maybe take NPC or player bodies here of bounties that you've captured. You might want to check the bounty board there to get bounty missions. There's shopping to do for bounty hunting related items. There are various cells and detention center sort of areas. White box explorations are ongoing for building interiors that will help populate landing zones and nearby areas like skyscrapers on Microtech and the new sort of buildings that are going to be popping up around Hurston. You might land on top of a building, enter a lobby, and then traverse through the building. Cloud Imperium have talked about this a bit, but they're pretty big and encompassing with lots of different types of floor and things happening on those floor, from sort of like the underground area to the lobby to office space to sort of like server centers and all that sort of jazz. It's early days on those sort of building interiors, though. They are further improving the point of interest and sort of persistent universe location building tools. They can build structures, place modular pieces, and it's all super quick and easy. They sort of built out a space clinic as an example. Apparently they can now do this almost with like a single click, as they've got like a much more procedurally assisted way of doing it now, so like they've evolved the tool even further. The Persistent Universe character art team converted older assets to newer versions. This new version of Layer Blend allows them to spawn sort of items and clothing and loadouts at different wear levels. So this allows them to have more variance and customization in armors. When you look at a group of enemies that are wearing similar armor, well, it's not going to be as similar anymore because they're going to be at different levels of wear. They are also working on a load of different types of clothing and armor at the moment, and armor tints as well, to add even more variation in the way that armors and clothing look. They also showed some awesome work the lighting team has made on the new Lorville 2.0. Massive areas, highly detailed there as well, and it looks like sort of they've built out a mega metropolis. Alpha 3.19 can't come soon enough. Really excited to see that Lorville area, and we're going to be able to get very, very close to it. There's going to be significantly less restrictions. So Inside Star Citizen is going on its hiatus for a few weeks now. We'll see them again in about a month's time, it seems. But once they get back, we're going to see an Inside Star Citizen on Hurston and Lorville 2.0. So just seeing that awesome big city, really excited for that. We're then going to be seeing updates on Arena Commander and derelict settlement towns, the new player experience, more buggy races that are going to start appearing at Microtech, new ships and vehicles coming to Fleet Week are also going to be discussed at some point. New features for Alpha 3.20, which appears to be a thing. I thought it was like an April Fool's or something, but no, it looks like we are going to have an Alpha 3.20 before we hit 4.0. Boom! That's it for your Inside Star Citizen update. So I'm really interested to know, are you excited by any of those things in particular? I love new spaceships. Star Citizen primarily a space combat game, although obviously it's now more of a universe, choose what you want to be role game with FPS and lots of spaceships and not all combat ships. But out of those sort of ships and vehicles, the 600i getting updates, the Argo SIV, the RSI Lynx, the Crusader Spirits and the Santok Yai, any of those in particular sort of excite you? It was a little bit sad not to see the Hull C included in this sprint report. Hopefully it's sort of ready, completed, and might turn up in 3.19 or the 3.19 cycle. Are you excited to see the inclusion of boids and sort of smaller animals which are going to populate the verse, make it feel a lot more living and breathing? Or are you really looking forward to exploring any of those new points of interest? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. It's 2023. There's no need for a VPN like NordVPN, right? In the modern era. Wrong. What's this, a Silent Hill styled ad? No, due to copyright, it's actually a Quiet Mound ad. But that siren means that someone's got my browsing data and hacked all my sanity away at Starbucks. Oh no, that guy's got a triangle on his head. I've never had a Silent Hill incident while using nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. By God, can you risk not having it? Well, probably, but why take the chance? NordVPN can help you access more content on the internet from more countries in a safer and more private way. It's an essential tool in your arsenal in 2023 against the legally distinct triangle head. Check out the links below for one hell of a deal. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For March, we are giving away an Argo Raft, the mighty little hauler that could. Soon, it should be able to make use of its 32 SCU cargo boxes, but in Alpha 3.18, it's going to have to make you some serious Alpha UEC from cargo hauling. It also comes with a game package and lifetime insurance, all you need to get started in your Star Citizen career. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting the channel. Please consider becoming a YouTube member with the join button under our videos or using the links below Patreon. It really goes the extra mile to support us making daily content for Star Citizen. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe and share it with your space friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.